Hey gang, this is Paul the Jazzman with Big Easy Modeling Solutions, and we're going over the finally completed prototype TOS 50th Anniversary Edition lighting kit for the 1/350 scale ship. So without further ado, we'll power up the board. Get a nice little intro, and then first thing you'll hit is the startup button, and that'll engage the startup sequence. So bridge, saucer section, interiors, secondary
Space,
interiors,
the final frontier.
and this you kind of
These
have
are
to
the
engage
voyages of
by
the
hand at the
Starship
moment.
Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
And this whole sequence has to play through, but you notice it started on impulse, and you have the nav lights, and then it flips to warp mode for the credits as the ship goes by, and you have the traditional navigation lights and the CGI ones still for now. And that has to play all the way through, and now it's going to kick back into impulse mode over here. You get a sound effect with the ambient bridge sounds automatically kicks on, and that'll play for about 8 or 9 minutes just with that ambient sound, unless you interrupt it with something else. Alright, and so for something you can interrupt it with, you have some of the various modes. We have 5 different buttons. This will engage the warp drive. You'll see the impulse kick off and the warp kick on, and it does an effect where it ramps up, and then you can hear the swoosh, and then it'll automatically kick back to the impulse mode when it completes the cycle. So it does not stay in warp mode. It'll kick back into the impulse with ambient sound. There it goes. There you go. Alright, and you notice that it flipped back. Okay, so next would be the phasers. Right now they're hooked up to a blue LED. You can also hook them up to a red laser or even a blue laser if you have one. Although the blue lasers tend to be either kind of purple and not very visible, or really expensive and can probably burn you. So be careful with those if you do decide to use a blue laser. But I recommend just either a blue LED or a red laser. And here's the blue LED. See, it kind of flickers. Alright. And that of course shuts off the engine sound. You can turn it back on by hitting the startup button again. Alright. And if you hit the torpedoes, you'll see them fire. Back here. Bridge sound, but you can turn it back on again by hitting the startup button if you want to hear that sound again. And then finally you have a red alert mode here, and it'll play the sound 4 times with the light, and the light will stay on but the sound stops after 4 because the sound gets kind of annoying if it goes on for a long time. And it'll also interrupt any other sound, so it's good to have it only go 4 times. But that light will stay on, and if you put some red LEDs like up in the bridge section, just a single red LED up there, and maybe one near the windows or something like that, you should be able to see it just faintly through the windows. So you'll tell the ship is in red alert mode. To turn off red alert mode, hit the button again, and that button and the LED goes off. Alright, so going back to the startup button, of course it kicks on the ambient sound the first time you hit it. And then, if you hit it again, it will give you a series of other different sounds. The closing credits music, and just some other music, and then there's some dialogue stuff in there if you go far enough. There might be even a couple of surprises in there that are kind of funny and fun. If you get down to the end of the tracks, there's something like 25 tracks of just ambient sounds like that. But if you want to go back to any of the other modes, there's the phasers will kick on, and that resets this, and then you're back to the impulse mode. I mean the ambient mode, and it just resets the cycle for the sound effects. So that's pretty much it. It does a lot. It packs a lot of punch into a board. you've got 5 buttons to deal with when you're wiring everything up, obviously. But it does a lot of cool things, and we hope you enjoy it, and we hope that it makes your model really come to life. So we're looking forward to getting these out for the first run. It's taken a long time to get this thing done. It's been quite a bear of a program, so thanks for sticking with me on this, and look forward to seeing this in some models soon. www.bigeasymodelingSolutions.com. Thanks again.